A Minneapolis police officer on the stand today testifying in the federal trial of 3 former Minneapolis police officers who are charged with violating George Floyd's civil rights.
She oversaw medical training for 2 of the 3 defendants. Our Rob Olson joins us live from St. Paul now with the latest from court. Rob?
Yeah, that medical support coordinator, as she's called, was on the stand all day today. She took the stand initially late yesterday afternoon, but it was a day long of testimony in which the prosecution very methodically went over all the training that she supervised, the medical training, saying that these officers were trained to respond, and she said they were inconsistent with how they're trained, while the defense tried to point out all the ways that these officers did actually try to help.
Just because they're speaking doesn't mean they're breathing adequately.
This is Officer Nicole Mackenzie testifying during the murder trial of Derek Chauvin, testifying again in this federal trial of the 3 former officers who were with Chauvin when George Floyd died about the medical training these officers received, testifying that if you can't detect a pulse after about 10 seconds, then you should begin CPR. In Floyd's case, CPR didn't begin until he was in an ambulance, several minutes after officers are heard saying they couldn't find a pulse. Mackenzie also testified repeatedly in response to a number of questions that officers are trained to put people on their side once they're under control, or if they have trouble breathing, or if they become unresponsive, saying the 3 former officers, Tu Tao, Alexander Kang, and Thomas Lane, did not do as they're trained, that I didn't see any efforts to put him into the side recovery position. Under cross-examination, defense attorney Robert Pauley took hard aim at other parts of training, specifically about responding to cases of suspected excited delirium. He showed 4 training videos, each showing officers using their knees, as Chauvin did, to hold the person down, although none had a knee directly on a neck as Chauvin did. Rather, they were on the upper back or near the neck. But the defense is pointing out that even as Mackenzie testified, officers are not specifically trained to use their knees, that clearly they do. Defense attorney Thomas Pluckett pointing out that none of the videos showed turning people on their sides. Mackenzie telling him the training exercises end at the point that would happen.
Yeah, so defense attorneys really trying to make a case for the jury that the training was insufficient to support what the police department is saying that these officers were supposed to do, and what the U.S. government here is trying to prove that they didn't do in violating George Floyd's constitutional rights. Defense attorneys also really taking a lot of points here in their lines of questioning to point out what their defendants did try to do. Thomas Lane suggesting to roll George Floyd onto his side a couple of times, suggesting to get a restraint device that would then have him put on his side, and that Derek Chauvin rebuffed them and told him no, he's staying right where he is, and heavily suggesting here to the jury that these officers, with Derek Chauvin 19 years on the force, that they were very much intimidated through the chain of command to do anything differently than what Derek Chauvin was doing and told them to do. Live in St. Paul, Rob Olson, Fox 9.